Welcome back or welcome to the Heartmoor Podcast. My name is Stacey and I'm a knitter, crocheter, possibly sometimes other sorts of crafts from Devon in the southwest of England, and I live here with my husband and my 3 beautiful daughters. I've had a little flurry of new subscribers actually since the last podcast, so thank you so much if you've subscribed to this channel or liked my last or watched or liked the last video. I think a few of you might have come from some fellow podcasters. I went to the Southern Wool Show back in beginning of September, and I think a couple of podcasters have mentioned me, and possibly that's where people have come from, but it'd be good to know. I'd love to know where you've come from, so mention below how you found me. But yes, I am back within a reasonable time frame. It is not a 10-month gap. It is about 5 weeks since since I last podcasted. And yeah, I've got some stuff to show you. Yeah, it's been a busy few weeks, as it always is. It's the beginning of a new school term, so I've got 3 girls and they are all now in 3 different schools. So that's been challenging, just trying to work out all the different apps I have to pay for clubs and dinners and anything else they're doing, and just their lives. It's been busy. You might also notice that the wall is a different colour. I've mentioned in my last podcast that we are decorating our living room, and we are nearly there. So this wall here has had its final 3rd coat today. It looks a little patchy because obviously it's still drying, but to be honest, the paint looks a little patchy everywhere, and I think it's because it's a really, really matte paint, and you could just see where the brush strokes are. It's not that it's patchy, but you can just see where the brush strokes have been. And I've tried to roller it. I tried to roller the 2nd coat, but you could see the roller stripes, and then you could see where I'd cut in with the brush around the edges, and it just looked worse, I figured, than just all over brush strokes. So I'm just leaving it, and I'm going to put pictures on the wall, and I'm happy. I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for just clean and fresh and new, and I still love it. So yes, this is a really, really dark blue-green. This light, it's terrible light outside today. Today is Sunday the 6th of October. And it's absolutely tanking it down outside, and the lighting is awful, so I've had to put the main light on. I did try it with the light off. It's not good. I don't have any fancy podcast equipment. I don't have any fancy lights or anything, so I'm afraid the lighting is not great today. But the point of that was that the colour behind me is actually a very blue-green. It's not quite as green as it's showing. But yeah, so I've got a few things to talk about. I've got a bit of live chatter, which I'll do at the end. I've got a couple of finished objects and things I'm working on, a new cast on. I do have acquisitions from the Southern Wool Show and a couple of things that I've bought recently. But first, I ought to talk about what I'm wearing. This is the striped sweater by Andrea Mowry, and it's knitted in Letlopi, in this lovely dark blue, sort of lighter blue, and then a really light, this is actually a pale blue, not a grey, and it's the worst jumper I've ever made in my life, and that's nothing to do with the pattern or Andrea Mowry. It's completely me. This was the first garment I ever knitted, and it's an absolute disaster, and I have it on today in homage to Gaynor from Tales of Cuckoo Land, just because apparently she really likes it. I'm thinking of gifting it to her actually for Christmas. I think I think if I gifted it to her, I think she might wear it, and I think she'd really like it. So I ought to talk you through the issues really. Obviously it's massively wide. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I could fix that. I suppose I could probably do a crochet chain, tighten it in a bit. You can see that I had a bit of a problem with the increases. I went wrong somewhere in the pattern, and somewhere about here, I realised I had way too much, when it came to splitting for the sleeves, I realised I had way too many stitches on the needles. Way too many, like 100 something, too many stitches. And I'm not a ripper outer. I have done it with more recent garments. I have started to rip back, but this was like the beginning of my garment journey. I was like, no, it'll block out. You know, it's fine. I'll just do some decreases after I've split for the sleeves. It'll block out. It'll be fine. And you know, it's not horrendous. But what I did was I sort of thought, well, I don't want the front to look too silly. So I did most of the decreases at the back. So I'll just show you the back. My hump, my lovely lady lump. And yeah, it's a bit, it's basically just a giant lump on the back. You can see it better from that angle. And it didn't block out. So I kept going and I kept going. And it sits in my wardrobe as a reminder. And it's really warm. The arms are, look how perfect the arms are. I feel like I just want to cut the arms off and just have them as like body arms, you know, like leg warmers, arm warmers. I could cut it off and make arm warmers, couldn't I, to just wear like on my arms. But the body's an absolute disaster. I'll kneel up and you can see the rest of it's actually all right. Like the fit down here is really nice and got a nice lot of ease, but yeah, the back is a bit humpy. So, oh God, I look really yellow in this light. I'm really sorry, it's such bad lighting. It's the only chance I've got to record. So my husband's taken my 2 little girls out to do some shopping, and the eldest one is doing a 10 tours practice walk today. So no one is in the house for about an hour. So I'm like, get in, get on, do it. So yes, this is the Stripes by Andrea Mowry. Highly recommend the pattern, highly recommend the yarn, which is Letlopi. Just don't ask me to knit it for you. Okay, let's move on. I may have to take this off in a minute because it just looks awful. Okay, so last time, where were we? Finished objects. So last time I was talking about the knitted socks I make for my family every Christmas. And this year's theme is shorty striped socks, or shorty socks with like a sporty stripe around the sort of the top of the ankle, bottom of the ankle, top, around the ankle. And I had finished the ones for my youngest daughter, and I was making the ones for my middle daughter. And there's going to be some spoilers from the Southern Wool Show as we go along. I might as well show you these now actually. I bought some new sock blockers. Oh God, you're all going to ask me, oh, it's written on who it's from. So these are by Blots. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, hello. I'm going to just cover my face to save that embarrassment from future. Blots. And I got 3 different ones. So I've got sizes 4 to 6, can't read that backwards, 5 to 7, and what's that one? 8 to 10 for my 3 different sized family members. So I have finished the ones for my middle girl. So these are these lovely sort of purpley ones. So this is a light pink, and it's a one-of-a-kind colourway from Blue Fern Yarns, and this purple is it's a colourway from Beehive Yarns. Can't remember what it's called, maybe Begonia, something like that. Really, really beautiful. So that's what I did for these. Let me put them on their appropriately sized blocker. I'll put one of them on, and I do have 2. Oh God, I've not used these before. I'm just trying to get it on. There we go. And yeah, there's the sock. And these, oh God, you're going to ask me what they were, aren't you? So I think I cast on 56 stitches, 2x2 rib for 10 rounds of rib. And then I did a stripe pattern. Just, yeah, it's all in my Ravelry page, which will be linked down below, and is also linked on my Instagram, sort of my numbers. So I did a striping pattern here, Then I did a slip stitch, heel flap and gusset with a garter ridge heel, which I don't like. Maybe I've just done it wrong. It looks messy. I just don't like it. So I'm just going to go back to my normal slip stitch heel that I do. And then I just knitted down the foot until I repeated the stripe pattern here, and then did the toe, which is I think a wedge toe. So I've knitted those. So both the youngest ones are done. So that's a bonus. Then I cast on my husband's socks. And I finished those as well. So got those here. He's a size UK 10.5. So I wanted to get these done and out of the way because these are going to be the biggest ones. So let me put one on his blocker. Here's one I prepared earlier. This one's got llamas on it. Look, they're all different. Llamas, sheep, and hearts. Let me move that away. I haven't yet cast on mine or my eldest daughter's. That's the next thing to do, but I got distracted by something else. But I will cast those on soon. Oh, this isn't even big enough for his sock, really. Anyway, and these are the socks for my husband. So again, so this is a yarn from, I think it's Pixie yarn. I can't remember the colourway because I'm using leftovers where possible. So this is from Pixie yarn, and this blue was from Lay Family. I made a hat in it, and they did hat kits a while ago, which were like, it was a hat pattern that had like fuzzy in it and a pattern and then a big pom-pom. Helpful, I know. And so yes, I did 10 rows of 2x2 ribbing. I cast on 72 stitches for this one. Then I did a nice little, it was 4, 3, 2 and 1 pattern of stripes, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset. Ginormous leg, and then I repeated it on the toe and did a wedge toe. So yeah, nice and simple. I use 2.5mm DPNs for all of my socks. That's just what works for me. I've got a relatively tight gauge. If I put effort into it, it's quite tight. I have loosened it over the years, but it is a relatively tight gauge. So anyway, 3 pairs of Christmas socks done for the family. So that's just 2 to go. It's a weight off my mind. What's next? Oh yes, let's do this one next. So last time I was working on the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit. Just drop the cone. And I am using Woolyknit. Oh, where's the light going to be better? It's not as bright as this. It's slightly more muted. Yeah, that sort of colour. This is Woolyknit DK in the colour, I can't read that, Blossom Pink, and it's their DK cones. I had 2, and I've just started the second arm, so I've used this cone. So the first cone, they're 500 gram cones. This cone here, I've still got a little bit left. This cone did the entire body, collar and 1 arm. Have I done the collar? Yeah, collar and 1 arm. So that's pretty good going actually for a large textured sweater. I will have enough left, I think, after I've done the arm to do a sweater with maybe some colour work in it. Yeah, so that's good. And spoiler, I've already spoiled it for you, but I have, where was I last time? I kept it on. So last time I'd finished the body and I was here on the first sleeve. So I have finished that sleeve like that. And I have put on the collar, and I have picked up for the second sleeve, literally just like a couple of rounds. And yeah, this is the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit. I don't think, I tried it on last week with some difficulty, and I would love to try it on for you again, but I haven't got any of my stitch extenders with me, and I'm not going to get that over my bicep. So I'm not going to sit here and, I could do it one-armed. Shall I try that? And then I can take this off. Let's try that. Hang on a minute. Let's take this one off. Excuse the paint-stained t-shirt. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's put this on. I'm really happy with the collar and the arm length, etc. I was worried the collar might be a bit tight because I didn't pick up quite as many stitches as she recommended. But it's fine. It's a really, yeah, collar sits, my hair's in the way. Really lovely fitting collar, fits beautiful. hang on, it's all caught up inside. There's my arm. And this one you can see, you can't see because it's out of shot. Really lovely length, and obviously this will block out, and the pattern will block out nicely, and it'll get a little bit more. I don't really need any more length on it, to be honest. I think when I block it, because of the nature of the pattern, it'll go widthwise, which will shorten it slightly. But that's absolutely fine. I've got a notification. Hang on, I'm just going to swipe it off because it's really irritating me. Okay. Take a deep breath. Apologies if I go a bit slow. I just need to get the words out when they're in my head. The only thing I've changed so far, oh, look, it's such a great fit on the arm. I love it. And this is the body. Hang on, I did show it last week. And you're not going to get a proper representation because my arm is inside. But yeah. Woo. Yes, absolutely love it. The only thing I've done differently to pattern is so you pick up and knit up with the collar. Then you fold it over, then you knit double the length you need, then you fold over and knit it with the stitches below, so you bind off at the same time. And the only thing I did differently, instead of just doing a standard bind off, I did a yarn over between each one. So I did a bind off, yarn over, etc., just to give it that extra bit of stretch, because I wanted it to be able to get over my head, but it's still a really nice snug fit round the neck. So let's take this one off. Right. Oh, is it worth putting the humpy one back on? Do you want it on? Shall I just leave it off now? It's quite warm today. Or is my paint stained? No, the white's a complete washout, isn't it? I'm going to have to put it back on. The white washes me out completely with the sofa. Oh God, here we go, look. Look at that. Right, let's put this one back on. So, I've only really been working on two things. So I finished the socks, I'm working on the storm sweater, but I have cast on something new. And this is a little bit into acquisitions as well. Oh, this is so warm. It is lovely, it's just, it doesn't fit. I'm gonna have to edit this out because no one wants to see me getting dressed. Right. Oh, hang on. Put that where it belongs. Okay, we're back. We're back in the stripy top. Move you forward a bit more. So Birdstreet yarn, or when I was at the Southern Wool Show, I saw lots of people have this neon nep yarn, and it looked really beautiful, but I didn't buy it because it wasn't on my list. But then a week or so later, Birdstreet UK, is that what they're called? Birdstreet yarn? Birdstreet yarn? I haven't got the label with me. Birdstreet yarn posted that they'd dyed up some new colourways in their neon nep yarn. And I saw them, and I just saw Oslo hats for my girls, my two youngest girls. The oldest one, she's never going to wear it. So I have bought some yarn. I'll show you what I've bought. I might as well show you that now, all the colours. So I have bought one in this one is called, so it's you can see it's Birdstreet yarn by Claire and John. And this one is called Spruced Neon. So it's obviously you can see it's the colour of a spruce fir tree. And you can see all these neon neps in it. And it is called Neon Nep 80, Spruce Neon, blah, blah, blah. 85-15 Superwash Merino to Donegal Nep. 4-ply, 100 grams is 400 metres. So I've got this lovely dark green to make one for my husband. He's going to wear one. I've bought this lovely sort of peachy pink colour with all the neps on. And this one is called Sassy. And so that's to make one for my middle daughter. And then I have cast one on in this beautiful purple, which I think is Amethyst. Amethyst? I'm going to have to try and find the tag now, aren't I? Hang on. Oh, I've made something else. I forgot about that. Oh, God. I'm useless. I actually have another finished object that I completely forgot about. And this one is Hyacinth. Is that what I said? No, I said Amethyst. This is Hyacinth in their neon nep. And I'll just show you. So oh, God. Calm down. I am making an Oslo hat. and I've just got through where I've sort of folded the bottom of the brim, and then I've knit the folding point, and now I'm just on the main sort of body of the hat. But the exciting thing about this yarn, and you've probably already seen it, is that it glows under UV light. So I have bought a little UV torch from Amazon. Oh God, how's that going to show on camera? Hang on. Right, can you see how they light up? Oh, it's so cool. Look at that. And if I get these ones, you can see it in the skein. Look, the neon nets just light up under a UV light. And I thought when the girls go camping, they can like take a torch with them, play hide and seek, and then go and find each other with the UV lights. So yes, they're having hats. And I'm knitting this size, I'm on 3.75 needles. I'm knitting the second size for my daughter, and the only change I've made so far is that instead of doing however many centimetres it calls for, I did about 4 or 5 centimetres less than the pattern calls for here. So this is the bit that goes across your forehead. Can't remember what it's called. Will be slightly shorter than the recommended in the pattern, but that's fine because she's only 9, just turning 10 in a few months, so that's fine. And that's really all I've been working on. But I have got another finished object. So I have lots of, and I'm sure many of us do, lots of single skeins of merino nylon in beautiful colours that I bought just because I love them. I saw it, thought that's a beautiful colourway, fell in love, fell into the trap of buying it. I'll make socks with those one day. I don't need 50 pairs of socks, but I have about 50 single skeins of pretty yarns. So I'm on a mission to try and find other things I can make with a single skein. I don't wear shawls, and I don't know many people in my life that do, so I'm limited to, and I also just don't need a million hats or a million gloves. I can make gloves, I can make hats, shawls, and you know, all of those things, but I'm just trying to think outside the box a little bit. So is this the right pattern? Yes, it is. I decided to make the Stockholm Slipover Junior by Petite Knit, and this is a terrible image. There it is, the Stockholm Slipover by Petite Knit, and it's just basically a slipover. I have not knitted it at the correct gauge. I've not knitted it with the correct yarn weight. So I used fingering, and I think I used 5.5. I can't check, it's on my phone. I can't remember what size millimetre needles I used, but it is on my Ravelry page. And knitted my youngest a slipover, and I was able to it hasn't been blocked yet. I was able to successfully get an entire slipover out of one skein of yarn. I really liked, and here it is, because it's not been blocked, she hasn't worn it yet. It's not actually this colour, it's a much richer purple, a bit more amethysty. I love the construction of this. I love the way that she tells you to pick up stitches for the shoulder. She's got videos on her, it's not a secret because I think the videos are accessible to anyone. She's got videos on her petiteknit.com of how you pick up. It looks a bit messy because it's such a wide gauge, but how you pick up the shoulders. I can't hold it properly. And yeah, it fits my daughter really lovely. The yarn is, it's Blue Fern yarns again, so that's Shannon, Blue Fern yarns, and this is called Amethyst Deceiver, and it's her platinum sock, which is 75-25 superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 425 grams per meters per 100 grams. So it's called Amethyst Deceiver, and I've actually got a reasonable amount left. I'm trying to find it because I cut it. Well, I think I could have knitted it on a smaller needle and still had a reasonable size. It's a good size. It goes right down just past her waist. So it's a really good size. But I've got to find, where's my leftovers? There we go. I've actually still got quite a good chunk left over. I reckon that's about 25 grams. Where's my scales? Are in here. Hang on, I can weigh it and tell you exactly what it is. Hang on. Right. 24 grams, 88, yes, basically 25 grams. Just under 25 grams left, which actually is pretty good out of one skein. So I can make her like loads of slipovers and all sorts of beautiful colours. And I could probably make one for my middle child as well, because obviously being slightly bigger, this would have made an even longer one. But I think next time I would knit it on a slightly smaller needle, so the gauge isn't quite, you can see the gauge is quite holy, just so the gauge isn't quite so big. But I know I've got enough yarn to do that. So that was another finished object. And that is all the current projects I'm working on. I haven't touched anything else. I've got plans to cast on, well, with some of the acquisitions I bought from the Southern Wool show, I've got plans to cast on a shawl soon. I know I said I don't wear shawls, but this is more of a neckerchief shawl. A smaller, shorter one of the Sari Norland ones from her book. Because I've got the book and I can't remember what it's called. Timeless Softly Knits. Sari Norland's new knitting book anyway. And there's a neckerchief in there I'm going to make. I want to cast on some more socks, but not the Christmas ones, just some from the 52 Weeks of Socks book. I want to cast on some from there. Yeah, and then Christmas is coming, so I've just got to think about what it is I want to do in the next. I've got to finish the sweater. I've got another sweater I want to finish, which I haven't touched for a few months. I don't want to cast on another garment until I've finished those 2 garments, so that's the plan. That is, I'll do a little bit of life news. Well, no, let's do acquisitions next. Life news, acquisitions. It depends if you're going to stay for the acquisitions or not stay for the life news, shall I? Let's do the acquisitions. So I have shown you the skeins of the NEP stuff, so I don't need to show you those again. So yeah, I went to the Southern Wool show in November. I went with Ollie and Bella. I didn't go with Ollie and Bella. I went with Cherie from the Ollie and Bella podcast, and we stayed overnight in Newbury. It was absolutely wonderful. Had a really good time. We had a lovely trip up and back on the train. Stayed in a quite a snuggly hotel room, but it was fine. Had some nice food. Met up with lots of wonderful people. I'm never going to remember them all. Gaynor, but I'm going to try. Clearly, Gaynor from Tales of Cuckoo Land. Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. Claire and John from Birdstreet Yarn. Kelly and Nick from Lay Family Yarn. Becky from Becky Dixon. What's she on Instagram? Mrs. P Diddy. She was there. I met Joe from Pickle Lily, Shannon from Blue Fern Yarns, and there were lots of other people there. I think, yeah, those are the ones I think I spent most of the time with, but there were lots of other people there. If you want to look, I didn't take any sort of videos or photos. If you want to see any good vlogs, then go and have a look at either Gaynor, Tales of Cuckoo Land, or Little Drops of Wonderful from Ali, and they both did great vlogs of it, so go and check their channels out. But I will go through what I bought. I had a list and I stuck to it. I bought one thing that wasn't on my list. Everything else was on my list. And everything had a purpose. So I firstly bought this I bought the sock blockers. I bought this opal yarn to make socks. Me and Cherie always, whenever we go to anywhere yarny, we always buy sort of a matching, we didn't get exactly the same colourway, but a matching yarn so we can knit socks together. So these are our Southern Wool Show socks. And this is an opal one, and it's called, absolutely no idea, can't pronounce any of that. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see it, but it's on there anyway. So this is going to be super pretty. Bought that. This is what was not on my list, but I got drawn in by it. And this was by Madrigal Yarns, and it's a self-striping colourway. It's called Monica Sock from Friends, and I absolutely love the colours in this. Oh, these are my colours, really, just so beautiful. So these are socks for me. Then I bought, what else did I buy? Oh, there's so much in this bag. I bought, let's just start with this one. This is from the Pure Welsh. It was a lady selling her wool from her own yarn in her own sheep in Wales. And I'm sorry, it smells so good. I love that smell. It was undyed, and this is Black Welsh Mountain DK yarn, 100% Welsh wool, and this is from the fleece of Bambi, and it's this beautiful, oh, it's not coming across, it's quite a cool, it's a lot cooler grey. It looks green on the screen, but it isn't. It's definitely that's probably a better representation. Back there is the colour, and it's this beautiful grey, and this is going to be the shawl, sorry, Nordland shawl, because I think the cables will show up absolutely beautifully in this yarn, and it will be really lovely. It's very rustic, it is rustic, but it will still be lovely. I can tolerate that around my neck, not a problem. So I will be wearing Bambi around my neck, but looking forward to making that. And then also from that store, Cherie bought me for my birthday present some Blueface Leicester Gotland 4-ply BFL fleeces from a single farm, blended with the Gotland fleeces from the farm in southwest Wales. And this is a really pale grey, and this is going to be a pair of socks. Is it socks? Yeah, this is going to be a pair of socks from the 52 Weeks of Yarn book. I like to use all my natural sock yarns for that, so these are going to be those. I also bought another natural sock yarn from Ainsworth Prynne, and it's called Ointment, and it's this really beautiful, again, the colour, that's the colour. If I hide it in the shade, it's this sort of plummy, light plummy pink. It's not coming up well on camera. And this is, I'll read it while it's on camera. British BFL and Masham 4-ply, 75% Blueface Leicester and 25% mid-brown Masham. 100 grams of that one. So that's going to be another pair of socks. I know I said I didn't need any socks earlier, but clearly I lied. I also bought from Maggie and Me this paper yarn. And I'm hoping to make, so it's called Whiskey Sour. There's 200 meters in here. Hoping to maybe make a little clutch or a little bag out of that. So I don't know how far 200 meters will get me, but I crochet a little bag or something. So that's that. Then I bought, oh gosh, there's still more. Then I went to the Woolen Witch and bought this beautiful 250 gram balls of soft rosebud, and it is a, oh, I've dropped it. It's a really beautiful pale pink. Yeah, really beautiful. And this is fingering weight. It's 50% superwash BFL, 25% UK alpaca, and 25% bio nylon. So these are also going to be a pair of socks. Lovely socks for me. And then I bought, oh gosh, I bought a giant wool wash, some Eucalyptus from in the scent Jasmine from Blue Fern Yarns. So that'll last me some considerable time. I bought, what else did I buy? Not much more now, I promise. Oh, hang on, I've got to get them all out. Oh, I got, oh God, hang on, let me get it all out. Otherwise I'm just going to make a mess of it. Yeah, I forgot about those. I think I've already used it. I went to Jo at Pickle Lily and I bought this beautiful DPN cozy holder, and she also gifted me a little bag which had some lavender pouches in and a measuring tape. So thank you very much, Jo. That's already been well used, but I'll be putting this on my next pair of socks. I then bought, oh, and also gifted was Beex Create. So Mrs. P. Diddy gifted this beautiful stitch marker, really super green glittery stitch marker. So I'll be using that. I went to Les Family Yarn and I bought 2 little mini floofs. I love mini floofs. They're just so soft. And this is in the colours, does it have the colours on it? no, it's 80 meters though of Surrey alpaca and silk. And these are going to be held with, it's going to be held with another yarn that I have yet to decide, and make some mittens for my daughter. So one of these should be enough to make a pair of mittens for each of them. So that's good. And then I bought these mini skeins. So these are 100%, does it say on it? It's British blend 4-ply. And this was from the Knitting Gift Shop. And there were these like mini, tiny little mini skeins. They were only £1 each. So I bought this purple, I bought a blue, an orange, a green, the same colour as the wall, and a pink. And I'm going to use these as colour working socks or mittens or something. And these are going to be like the accent colourway for one for each of us. So purple is the middle daughter. Purple is my, oh God, purple is my middle daughter. Blue is for me. Pink is for my, no, pink is the middle daughter. Purple is the youngest. Orange and green are for my husband and my eldest, but they can't decide which one they want. So I bought those 5 mini sort of woolly skeins. I also bought from, oh no, who did I buy it from? Oh, Bellica Yarns, it is written on there. This set of a little tin with, can you see little stop ends in it? Needle ends, so you don't get, it's hard to see without it. There we go. So needle ends. And then I bought one more thing. I can't remember who I bought it from, and I can't remember where I put it. I think is it in here? I bought, oh yes, it is in here. I bought a mood, I can't remember who I bought it from, I'm really sorry. I bought a mood needle, I say needle as in not knitting needle, sewing needle, little cozy. You just put your needles in and that's there, and I just bought that because I thought I wanted something from Mood, and that was what I could get after I bought all the yarn. That was what was available to me. And that is all my acquisitions. So, oh no, one more, but this isn't from the Southern Wool Show. Helen from Giddy Yarns did a set recently, a set of yarn from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I bought her mini set of these. So they are superwash sock, but my husband loves Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So I am thinking these are going to be some stripy socks at some point for him. But I have bought those from, oh God, can you see? Giddy Yarns. So that is all the acquisitions. If you're still here, thank you. And apologies for putting you through all of that, but I don't normally have that many acquisitions. It's purely because I went to a wool show, and that's why there is so much. And everything has plans, so that's good. I didn't just buy willy-nilly, so I'm super proud of myself for that. Life stuff. Yeah, I went out, had a lovely day yesterday. I went out to went out for an afternoon tea with some friends for a friend's 50th. And then in the evening for my eldest daughter's, so she's 17 next week, for her birthday, we went to see And Juliet at the theatre. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Let me know if you've seen it below. It was the most bonkers show I think I've ever seen. No, that's not true. I saw a really weird modern retake of Alice in Wonderland a couple of years ago. The second most bonkers show I've ever seen. It was brilliant. Like, the singing was incredible, the dancing, the production, the staging, everything was brilliant. And the storyline was just, but at one point, I don't want to spoil it for you, someone rises from the dead, descends from the ceiling on a swing made of flowers to Bon Jovi's It's My Life. The whole thing is about William Shakespeare and Juliet. Romeo's dead, Juliet doesn't kill herself and goes on to have a life. And the whole thing is set to sort of 90s and noughties pop music. It's really good. If you get the chance to see it, I would recommend it. And also at the beginning of September, I took my youngest daughter my middle daughter, oh my God, I get them mixed up. I took my middle daughter for her birthday to see Six the Musical. Again, if you haven't seen that one, it's absolutely brilliant. I could happily have seen that twice in one day. I love it so much. I've seen it twice now. And that is about Henry the VIII's 6 wives. Henry VIII's 6 wives, that's right. And it's a musical about each wife sort of sings a song about her, but it's a real modern take on it. And that's absolutely brilliant. I love that. What else has happened? We've been to look at a few secondary schools with my youngest because she's in year 5 now, so she'll be looking to, she's got 2 more years left in primary school before she moves up to secondary, so we've been looking at some schools. Yeah, just decorating in here. I've started buying Christmas presents. I've got a spreadsheet that I put together every year so I can keep track of what I bought for each member of the family. And yeah, like I said, it's my daughter's 7, my eldest is 17 next week. This time next year, I'm just gonna be on a puddle on the floor. But right now, she's only 17. And hopefully we'll be looking to get her some driving lessons and get her insured on my car. I might have to remortgage the house to do that. But yeah, so next week we're going to a local town for their goose fair on the Wednesday. It's an old tradition. It's called the Goosey Fair in Tavistock, and I don't even know if they have geese there anymore, but I think traditionally it would have been where you'd bought your geese for Christmas or something like that. But there's fairground rides and lots of stalls and food and drink. So I think on Wednesday night, if the weather's good, we're going to do that. And then on the Thursday, it's hers and my niece's birthday, my eldest daughter's and my niece's birthday. They're both on the same day. So we're just doing a little family get together. And then on the Friday, we're going out for dinner as a family, just the 5 of us. So busy week ahead. And yeah, I think that's it. It's, yeah, I think that's it. There's no point dragging out with nothing to say. So thank you so much for watching, especially if you've lasted till the end. And also thank you for subscribing. My numbers have jumped up quite a little bit, so it would be good to see them jump up again. So please like and subscribe if you're not already. And yes, hopefully I will be back again at some point, probably in November, because it's half term and I'll have the opportunity, end of October, beginning of November, I'll have a bit more time to record when it's half term. So hopefully I'll be back then, and yeah, see you soon. Bye.